Hi, my name is Hald, my pronouns are V and they, and there's something I want to talk about, and it's the concept of should. There's something weird that many of us do, and it's something that I'm trying to stop myself from doing. And it's that we keep saying that we should or shouldn't do things, right? We say it all the time. We say, oh, I should exercise. Oh, I shouldn't just sit around all day. Or I should really start jogging.
Why though?
And what are we thinking when we say it? Are we saying that we want to do something for ourselves? If that's the case, then why don't we just do it? I have been thinking about this a lot, and it seems to have two main meanings when we say that we should or shouldn't do something. Number one, people keep saying this is a good thing I should do. I don't really want to do it, but it's something I'm supposed to do. And number two, I have a goal that I want to achieve, and I know I need to do this thing in order to achieve that goal, but I don't really feel motivated to do it right now. The thing that they both have in common is that they speak to a lack of internal motivation. Many times it's a combination of both in some ratio. Of course, this makes it a useful sentence because it communicates a feeling that we are expected to perform in certain ways, but we don't really want to. Often the goal we want to achieve is informed by external pressures like fat phobia or transphobia, landlords, etc. And that confuses the issue even further. It makes it a lot harder to figure out what it is that we want to do, what it is that we feel like we're supposed to do, or what we're forced to do in the society we inhabit. And we do inhabit a fat-phobic, white supremacist, transphobic, ableist, capitalistic hellscape. So there are certain things we are pressured and sometimes even forced to do. The more marginalized we are, the more force is applied to those pressures from the outside, often from different directions in contradictory ways. Speaking from my own experience, trans people are often pressured to perform according to binary gender ideals in order to stay safe and accepted. But at the same time, when we do perform to those ideals, whether because of outside pressure or because that's how we feel internally, we're told that we are mocking and mimicking. Someone actually once told me, someone I was dating at the time, that me having my gender identity and my goals in terms of transition made me a mockery of womanhood and made me a panto dame. Or you can Google panto dame to see what that is and decide for yourself whether that's what I am. Fat or plus-size people are often told to lose weight and exercise while simultaneously suffering abuse when they exist in fitness spaces, not to mention the lack of fitness gear above a UK size 18. So there's no wonder that a lot of us say to ourselves, I should be doing this, or should be doing that, or shouldn't. But I want you to know, unequivocally, that there is no should. There's nowhere to go from I should except for I can't be asked, or oh, I guess I'll do it then, in the huffiest teenager voice there is. But then we leave ourselves either failing to do what's expected of us, or we do something we don't really want to. But what do we do about that? All right, so here's what I'm doing. If I catch myself thinking I should do something, I try to remember to ask myself,
Why though?
is it something I need to do because it will help me achieve my goal? Okay then, do I want to do it? No. Why is that? Is my goal something I don't really want, or is what I'm doing to achieve that goal something that doesn't really work for me? If you want to feed a cat, what do? Do you chuck the food in a bowl? Do you chuck it on the floor? Do you put it in a little ball that they have to roll around to get the food? Do you put it in a tower that they have to get it through? Do you put it in a cat food maze? Do you put it in like one of those little blanket with the fluffy things on it so they have to dig for it? Do you use kibble? Do you use wet food? Do you feed them raw? Do you feed them tuna? Do you add supplements? All of these things. Some work, some don't. Some cats love one thing another day and don't the other day. There are many ways to feed a cat. Sometimes we choose a path not because it's the right path for us, but because someone told us that that's the best path to go. If I want to go somewhere, I might want to choose the scenic route, or I might want to go through traffic so I can get there faster. Maybe I'll go through a forest where I can't see much scenery, but I get to look at all the trees. The thing is, everyone has a different path, and someone might look at you and think that, oh yeah, you'll like the way that I did this. You'll enjoy that. But they don't know. And you don't know until you try it, obviously. And that's when we get into that point of going, well, I don't like this, but I should do that? Or should you just take another path and see if that gets you where you need to go? At the end of the day, it's your path, and you have to walk it, so you have to choose what works for you. And if someone tells you, this is where you should go, this is what you should do, or this is the destination that you should be looking for, ultimately, it's up to you to decide whether that's something that you want. All right, as a more fitness-related example, here's a sentence I hear a lot.
I want to be fitter.
Okay, but what does that mean? There are many ways to be fit. Do you want to be a powerlifting tank? Do you want to be a long-distance runner? Do you want to be able to do those gravity-defying pole dance tricks? You want to be able to dance all night? You want to play roller derby? The options are endless. And the thing is, we often don't know the answer to that question straight away. When I was 20, I wanted to look like Tyler Durden in Fight Club, and there are so many ways in which that doesn't fit with who I am now. These days, what I want is to be able to move well and do fun stuff with a kettlebell. Putting I should in front of a sentence kind of just makes it stop. You stop really evaluating what you want and just conclude that you don't really want to do it. And yeah, it's annoying to constantly be evaluating and questioning yourself and what you want. But it's frustrating as hell to keep trying to achieve something and always coming up against stumbling blocks and failing and not understanding why. I know this from experience. I have ADHD, and that means spending a lot of time thinking that I should be doing things and never getting around to them. And wanting actively to do things I care about, and not getting around to them and forgetting that they even exist. I'm working on being kinder to myself when I do fail to live up to how society wants me to be, and even how I want to interact in the world. I do still end up telling myself that I should do something sometimes, but I am getting better at saying,
Why though?
once we know why we are feeling unmotivated about something, it's easier to change tack. Because at the end of the day, we succeed at nothing if we don't feel internally motivated to do those things. Suddenly, we're not failing at doing something we should. We're choosing not to do something that we don't want to. I'd like to ask you, what do you feel like you should be doing? Is there anything that you can't make yourself do or have been making yourself do because you should? Because you feel like you should? If you ask yourself,
Why though?
what's the answer? Does it make you still feel like you should be doing it? Or are you able to find other ways of doing it? Or something else to do? Or to just leave it behind? If you feel something about it, leave a comment. If you like the video, like it. If you want to see more videos, subscribe. I upload every week, and maybe sometimes on a Sunday, apparently, from now on. Who knows? And you can go to my website, underdoghealth.co.uk, if you want to see what I do as a personal trainer and maybe work with me. I'm Coach Huld, pronouns we and they. Bye! Okay.